Hi everyone! Welcome to day 2 of math for capacity learning. So first let's just go over the definition of capacity. See if you remember what it is from yesterday. So capacity is how much a container holds. So before you get to your math lesson today, the first thing you'll need to do is draw this chart. So you need to draw a great big rectangle. You need to divide it into 3 columns, 1, 2, 3, and then you need to have 3 rows for the containers that you're going to be measuring with, and then the 4th row is going to be the title. Okay, so you need to draw this chart, not these containers, because you might have different containers that you're using. You need to write container over the first column, estimate, and then actual capacity over the last column. Okay, so once you've written those out, then what you're going to do is go find 3 different containers in your home. You don't want them to be too big, otherwise it will take a lot of noodles or rice or whatever you're measuring with to actually measure. Okay, so you want to kind of choose smaller containers that could be tricky. So what I did is I found 3 sort of smallish containers. This one looks like it's sort of the shortest. And then the next size container I found is a little bit bigger, like this. And then last but not least, a little cup like this. So then I drew my 3 containers. So I drew my shortest one here and I labeled it dish. And then I drew this container here and I labeled it container. And then my last cup I drew there and labeled it cup. And so what I need to do is think about how many scoops of noodles it's going to take to fill each of these containers and figure out which dish or which container has the greatest capacity and which one has the least capacity. Okay, so again, I'm using my noodles from yesterday and a spoon. And before I measure, it's really important that I do my estimates in my notebook first, okay? So I am going to estimate that this dish, even though it's a bit wider, it's still quite short. So I'm going to estimate that it holds 5 scoops of noodles. Okay, and so I'm going to estimate that the next size up container holds, let's say 6 scoops of noodles. And my cup, I'm going to estimate that it holds 8 scoops of noodles. Okay, so now's the time that I actually get to do all of my actual measurements and find out the actual capacity. So I'm going to start with the smaller dish, and I'm going to see just how many scoops. So my estimate was 5 scoops. Let's see how close I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, I'm going to say it actually held 9 scoops. Almost double than my estimate. So I'm going to write that down. The actual was 9. 9 scoops of noodles. Okay, let's see. So if I thought that this one was going to be even more, maybe it's going to hold 10 scoops. Let's count it out and see. So I guessed 6 scoops. 1, you see that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, maybe I can get 11. 11 scoops of noodles. So it did hold more than the dish. So I'm going to write down 11 scoops of noodles. Okay, and last but not least, I guessed this would hold the most at 8 scoops. So now I'm thinking it's probably going to hold more than 11. So let's give it a try. Here we go. 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 scoops. What happened? 8 scoops, and it's that full. So, boys and girls, I was very wrong with that one. I thought the cup would have the greatest capacity because it was the tallest. So, 8 scoops. And look at that, I was actually correct. But I did think it would have the greatest capacity, and it actually had the least capacity. So that tells my brain that just because something is taller doesn't mean it has the greatest capacity. This one is wider, and so it holds more outside. So one thing that I learned is that, and I'm going to write this at the bottom, and you can write this at the bottom of yours if you learned something. I learned that the tallest container does not always have the greatest capacity. Okay, so I learned that the tallest container does not always have the greatest capacity. Okay, good luck. Go for a hunt for some containers. Make sure you ask your parents' permission before you just grab them, and ask your parents what you might be able to use from the cupboards to help you measure the capacity, okay? Good luck.